The Broken Ladder, How Inequality Affects the Way We Think, Live, and Die. So the author of that book is Keith Payne, and he is a professor of psychology and neuroscience, actually, at the University of North Carolina. And in his clinic, they study lots of things, how inequality shapes the human mind, how people are more self-defeating when there is inequality or when they're in poverty, how they make decisions that people who are of a higher socioeconomic status may not make. Sometimes women have more children, things of that nature. So this book is really important because it directly shows how the average income of a person, whether it is higher or lower than the national average, really does affect the way people think, the decisions that they make, down to what they'll eat for dinner. It also can affect mental health issues and things of that nature. So Dr. Payne touched on a lot of different things about inequality. And I think the topic in his work that resonated the most with me was how he talked about racial inequality and how that inequality subsequently equates to economic inequality as well. He actually dedicates an entire chapter in his book to that. And he calls it the dangerous dance of racial and economic inequality. And it's a very profound chapter that really speaks to why poverty in minority communities can lead directly to come directly from racial inequalities traditionally in America and other countries that have the same background as America. So how does this connect to TFU? Well, the broken ladder actually gives credence to the fact that educators have to consider a student's position when formatting expectations and formatting their class lessons. I can't remember which class this was at the beginning of our journey here, where we talked about student position and how we saw that there was a teacher who went to her students' homes to see how they lived so that she could understand them better before the school year started. And so this book is phenomenal in that it speaks directly to that everyone's position in the world has to be considered whenever we are teaching for understanding. And so that, to me, kind of links to how people learn. And because it talks about the themes of social identity, motivation, learning goals, self-regulated learning, and long-term persistence that are relevant when a student's position is identified, appreciated, and taken into account.